do. You're a piece of
Rock, paper, scissors. Rock, paper, scissors. Rock, paper, scissors.
You guys are losers. And that's why your Christmas is going to be piece of because you're a piece of You're a piece of You're a loser. You're stupid.
All this for
You're a loser. You're losers. And you know what? Your people threw a canister on my chest and bruised the out of me, you loser. But that's what you guys are doing. And I was at your trial, you piece of and I hope you get what you deserve. I hope you get what you deserve.
Mandy Tovar is a woman teacher activist that I absolutely love because she is giving a piece of her mind to the 4'7" Gregory Bovino. Here's the thing, she's not alone.
You're not welcome with people as well? Then why is that?
Excuse me, I'm so sorry.
Just back up just a little.
Yep, I'm sorry.
Back up. Back up. Back up. Back up. Just a little bit more. There you go. I'm not in your space. I'm going to go ahead. That's fine. You're welcome to. So, you're trying to highlight immigration enforcement. That's why we're here.
Sorry, Ashley.
I'm disappointed that you're disappointed. The abuse that you have done for our residents is unacceptable. It's not unacceptable. Racism is unacceptable. And the violence is unacceptable.
Yeah, it is. That's why we're here. That's why we're here. We are in your community because you refuse to do what we are doing. Violence.
Thank you.
What violence are you concerned about?
Violence committed by those that shouldn't be here in your community.
I'm unaware of that happening.
Well, that's probably the problem. Maybe you should get aware of it.
Hey, Bovino, we don't want you here, bro. We don't want you here.
This is congressional candidate Daniel Biss, the mayor of Evanston, Illinois.
So a few minutes ago, a bunch of ICE and CBP agents were here. I stood face to face with Greg Bovino right here, and he threatened us, said he's going to continue the enforcement. Of course, what he said was he's keeping us safe from violence, but what we know is that the violence is being perpetrated by federal agents. They had a conversation with our police chief. It sounds like they plan to be here throughout the rest of the day. I'm delighted to say there were tons of rapid responders. There were people pushing back. The tragedy is that I saw with my own eyes 2 people who they abducted, and I'm told there may be more. It's not clear yet, and I don't want to say anything unless I'm sure it's true. But what I would say is this: stay alert, stay active, keep yourself safe. If you're trained in rapid response, be out and about, and always remember the ICIRR hotline, 855-435-7693. We need to keep each other safe.
And here is how he recapped that encounter with Tovar. What brought you out here today?
Humanity, doing what's right, my students, just seeing what's happening and living it, seeing it, students leaving, students scared to come to school, families scared to come to school. I'm of Mexican descent. I'm a child of an immigrant. Just doing what's right.
Right. Mm-hmm. And you said you're a teacher.
Yes.
What grade do you teach?
Kindergarten through 4th special ed.
Okay. So they're afraid to go to school?
Yes. I actually had a sign that I brought to one of the protests the other day downtown. It was a student of mine in 4th grade, and she made a sign because she said, Ms. Tovar, we're not supposed to talk politics with students, which I understand and I don't. But when she's talking to me about, Ms. Tovar, they took my cousins. How do I tell, saying I'm sorry, I'm sorry, sweetie, I'm sorry that happened to you. And I told her, I said, well, I go out and I try to help, and if you wanted me to bring a sign, I could bring a sign for you. And she made me a really nice poster, and that was my way of helping her have an outlet to share her voice. But they know what's going on. They see it. Nothing has ever happened without people on the front lines with what we're doing right now. Nothing has ever changed. It's not lobbying, it's not any of that. It's people at the front lines that are making the noise, that are making the stance that this is not okay. Right. When you look downtown and we have hundreds of people, thousands of people, not hundreds, thousands of people outside, that shows you how many people are committed to changing this. I just wish more people were out here, but I get it, I understand it's scary. And I don't want to... Sorry. I have people telling me all the time, think of your daughter. Think of your daughter. This is bigger. You're putting your face out there. You're putting your image out there. Think of your daughter. I'm not only thinking about my daughter. I'm thinking about other people's daughters. I'm thinking about my students. I'm thinking about the kids that have to go home and their parents are missing. I have to go home and think about how many kids are being separated from their parents at the detention center. I'm thinking about all the different kids. And so, yes, I understand and I appreciate, family and friends saying, be careful, be careful, be careful. And I get it. I understand. It's scary. But this time takes bravery. This is not any time in my lifetime, in your lifetime, in any of our lifetimes that we're facing something like this right now. This is an even bigger issue. I do believe we are on the verge of a civil war, if not already. We're in the beginning stages of one. The hard part is it's not like a north-south thing. This is your neighbor thing. This is your neighbor that you feel you have to be at war with. I don't want to be at war with anybody. I don't think any of us want to be at war with anybody. I think that there's just so many powers that be that put things into the air and put things into our hearts and put things into that just drives all of this hate. I know that I'm not going to get stopped as often as a person who's not white. I know that they're going to get pulled over. I know that they're getting followed in stores. I know that they're getting, hit left and right with discrimination. I don't necessarily face that myself, but if I'm not doing that, I'm going to use my privilege in a right way to be out here to show people that this is what's happening. I feel like all of these, white people out here are doing what we need to be doing. You know what I mean? Because on the front lines, I'm afraid what it would look like if it was all black people out here. I've seen what it looks like. And I've seen what it looks like when you have all Latinos in an area. You know what I mean? So I feel like I'm grateful seeing so many different people coming out to protest. And I think we just need to understand get back to the root of where the anger is coming from.
I had the fortune of speaking with her outside of the Broadview ICE facility in Illinois. Sadly, her story is not isolated.
My name is Victoria Slatton. I'm an immigration attorney. I currently have a client who is a U.S. citizen who is in ICE custody. She was taken yesterday under very suspicious circumstances, in my opinion. And we have been desperately trying to get her out. We filed habeas last night that was supposed to protect her from being moved and keep her in the jurisdiction. The court actually ruled, giving us an injunction that said she was not allowed to be moved from the jurisdiction and that she was not allowed to be deported. Despite that, and despite ICE having her birth certificate that shows that she was very clearly born in Maryland, they did move her to Louisiana. That is not a good sign. That is usually a last stop before deportation. They're blatantly ignoring orders from the court. They're not allowing me access to my client, and I am at a loss. And I'm incredibly angry. It is an indisputable fact that she was born inside the United States. I've seen her birth certificate. We have immunization records. We have multiple affidavits from people who were there at her birth. I personally called the hospital and they confirmed that they do have records. They just cannot release them at this time. But we are working on getting additional evidence. But we have her birth certificate. That should be enough. She never should have been picked up in the first place. I am asking if anyone in the media is willing to cover this story. She has two sisters who are willing to speak. I'm also asking for basically any resources, any help. I've gone to her congressman. I'm doing everything we can on the legal side, but I am at a loss because this is so far beyond what I ever thought I would be fighting for.
Your asylum buddy on TikTok would put up that video, then provide the following update, which reads, "Quick clarification on my last video. ICE moved my client after habeas was filed, but not before the judge ruled. They're still blatantly ignoring the law. By keeping my client detained, we are working to get her out. I will keep you updated." If you can and are willing, please become a paid member here at TYT Sports. And or go to tyt.com/join. In addition, you can follow me on Twitter, Instagram, and TikTok. Appreciate it. Have a great day.